Oh, I'm back again. What's going on, guys? Back. So, let's talk. Talk cars again. Talk Mark 4, Mark 2, Mark 3. I don't know anything about Mark 1s, unfortunately. I know a little bit about Mark 2s. Enough to get me in trouble right now. But what's going on, people? What is going on? Let's see here. So I'm back. What's going on again? I just had my dinner. So I'm here to talk. Let's talk. I can only be on for a little bit while longer because I got to get ready for bed. Got that night time. But what's everybody up to tonight, huh? What is going on, my homies? What's new, huh? What's new out there? What are you guys liking right now? Are you guys ready for Deadpool 2? Because I'm ready. I don't know about you guys, but I'm super stoked about that. I'm a big Deadpool fan, so that's pretty cool. I guess. I don't know. Whatever. What's going on, guys? I'm making some more decals right now. Well, not decals. I'm making more Pinche Owl shirt logos here for my new shirts that are coming out. So I got a pretty long week ahead of me, making all this new stuff for you guys. I'm excited. I don't know about you guys, but I get excited for this kind of stuff. I like making things. I like being busy. I'm a big busy person. I love being busy. I don't know about you guys, but being busy is one of my favorite things to do. Like, if I have nothing to do, like if I wake up and I have absolutely nothing to do, it's really irritating. I don't know about you guys. Sometimes I don't mind being lazy. You know, I'll get a day or two, I'll sit in bed and play video games all day, but I get to the point where I'm just like, I'm done. I'm done playing video games. I need to do something. I'll go outside and tinker on my car or something. I don't know. Break something on purpose so I can fix it. Just don't tell Carlene. She might get mad at me. Like, why are you buying this? Because I broke it. Why'd you break it? I was trying to fix it, but it broke. Well, how'd you break it? Oh, I touched it. But what's going on, guys? Come on. Come on, say something. Post something. Don't stare at me. I'm always busy doing something. What's going on? Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask me something. Ah. All right, see, we're going to cut. what's going on, huh? Can I ask anything? I mean, I'm live. Come on, don't be afraid to ask stuff. So, I guess if you guys don't ask it, I'll show you guys what's coming next in the new DIYs. Do you guys know what these are? Hey, Paul. I'm back. These are axle beam bushings. The rear bushings for your axle, for your rear beam. Hands down, probably the worst or the hardest bushing to press in a Mark IV. Probably the most annoying because it's a lot of work. We got that DIY coming. For my wife's Passat, we got brand new tie rod ends coming in as well. It's a new DIY we're going to be doing. So these are pretty cool. Passats are very tricky to do this job on, so I'm excited for this one. Yeah. Let me see what else is there. Oh, we're gonna do some cool mods to a 1.8T stock intake manifold. I'm gonna show you guys how to do some pretty cool stuff on one of these guys. We're gonna learn pretty much on the manifold. We're gonna drill out all the ports here, and we're gonna make some AN fittings on these guys, like I did on my other manifold. It was really cool. I made it for my other car. It actually turned out pretty cool. I was able to use my own custom bar, my custom fittings that I made for it, and it actually turned out really, really nice. So I'm gonna do another one of these so you guys can see how I did it. Yeah, but they work really, really well. Yeah, I can show you later, Paul. Let me see if I can find a picture of it. I think I have it on my Facebook page. Give me a second here. I think it's on my actual like Pinch Owl page. Let me double check here. Now I gotta find them. Oh, here we go. Photos. Let's see. Just no, not recently, but I did it a couple months ago. I made these AN fittings on my manifold. Like I said, it wasn't very hard. Here we go. Found a picture of it. I ended up using some crush fittings, which saves you a lot of money if you guys ever want to see that. There were Radiate wheels from a company called Radiate. Here's that thing I'm talking about. I made this. Well, Paul, if you like those wheels, they're for sale, FYI. For Wayne again, in regards of the wheels, I mean, I can probably, with no tires, I'll just ship just the wheels, $1,000 pretty much for a set. They're 1,200 bucks brand new, so 200 bucks off. I've only used them for less than a year, so they'll be 1,000 bucks. There's no curb rash on them. A couple little rock chips on them, but that's pretty much it though. They are for sale, and I'll sell them to you for $1,000 shipped to you if you want to get them. So back to the KO3 and the KO3S for Wayne. The difference, the KO3 doesn't have a bigger, the actual turbine wheel itself isn't that big. The KO3S has a much bigger turbine. I guess you can see. I can find you a picture. And the KO3S just spools faster and makes more boost. That's honestly the difference. There's like no drastic difference. Like, I mean, other than the turbine, the actual turbo wheel is bigger. You know, so I found a good comparison here. Give me a second. Just saved the damn file. No, not at all, Wayne. That is not the difference. And I'll show you a difference right now. Just give me a second here. I'm finding you a good picture difference, okay? No, there is an actual, like, drastic difference between them. Trying to find a good comparison here. I thought I found one, but I was wrong. Not showing up, I can't, but there's really no huge difference. Like I said, the KO3S will spool faster and makes more boost, and it actually has better flow than the KO3. So if you want to compare the two performance differences, you're looking at anywhere from 10 to 15% in comparison to those two turbos. Okay, it's just the KO3S is just it's the efficient version of the KO3. That's it. Other than the silencer, the actual impeller wheel is slightly bigger, faster, more power. If you slapped it on a Mark IV, no, do not cut off the silencer. No, you cannot cut that off. If you do, you're gonna ruin it, and the silencer actually goes really far down on the KO3S. You'd ruin the turbo, and you'd be useless after that.
I mean, if you're going to get a KO3S for free, do it. If not, go to a KO4. It's a good little upgrade. It won't make a lot of power, but it's a good daily turbo. If you want to make some real power and actual, like, have fun with, the KO4 23, which comes off of the Audi TT 225. Now, that's a man's turbo. You know, that's when you actually get into big boy territory. If you want me to say that, I guess the best example on that. Now, yeah, if you're gonna get it for free, man, do it. You know, but you're not gonna get, like I said, a huge difference in performance. It's just nothing drastic. You know, you're not gonna be like, oh wow, this is a night and day performance. Nope, not much of a difference from your KO3 to KO3S in what you're gonna feel overall. It's just gonna be more efficient, and you're just gonna, you know, getting it for free, might as well. Here you go. This is the difference right here. On the bottom is the KO3. The top is the KO3S. The difference you'll see on there is the silencer. All that does is just makes it tones down the spool, because it's a really loud spooly turbo. Because it's so small, it spools so fast, it just makes a lot of noise. But don't cut it off, leave it alone. It doesn't make the turbo run any better or any worse, so don't worry about it. All right, Wayne. Personally, like I was saying, those are the KO3K turbos. I'll give you guys another comparison in just a second here. You're gonna see KO4 isn't. If I can find you guys a KO4 comparison. Now, the KO3 is on the left, the KO4 is on the right. It's literally 20-ish% larger. So, that being said, you get about 20% extra performance. It's not, you know, rocket science. You know, it's not a drastic or huge increase. I think the record right now with the KO4 is about 280, 290 horsepower. And that's literally KO4 turbo, manifold, custom intake manifold, throttle body, Hemi throttle body, water cooled injection. I mean, there's a ton of mods just to get that, to make that power. Oh, and I think he went on E85 as well. I mean, this guy spent a fortune to make 300 wheel horsepower on such a tiny turbo. By the time he was done, it was actually cheaper to go to a big turbo and do that. For Wayne, if you want to get a good, affordable KO4 turbo, go to Franken Turbo, get the F21. It's pretty much a bored-out version of this turbo over here on the right. It's slightly bigger. It's even bigger than the KO4. It's still a factory housing, just makes even more power. However, again, it's a tiny turbo. You won't make that much power. Paul, 1.8Ts, all they really need is an intake, you know, an intake, an exhaust, an upgraded diverter valve. If you can't fork out the money, get an upgraded side mount intercooler. I highly recommend at least a front mount intercooler, just because they heat soak pretty quickly. And a tune, and you'll make at least an extra 20 to 40 horsepower, you know, and depending on the condition of your engine, the condition of the turbo. There's a lot of parameters. I mean, you can't just slap in all these mods and expect, a lot of power. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Your power is going to come to reliability. You're going to have to factor in all these little things here and there. I mean, horsepower, unfortunately, is really a matter of your quality of life. Your turbo or your engine can be, having problems with the head or the cylinders. You can have failing piston rings where you're losing compression. All these things about health are going to prevent you from having a lot of power. So if you're going to want to make some horsepower on your 1.8T, hopefully, like I said, basic mods, again, intake, exhaust, downpipe. I recommend upgrading the boost hoses on the factory stuff, because that rubber just falls apart or comes off on higher boosts. You're going to end up blowing pipes off and breaking things. You're better off upgrading to a much higher end stuff down the road. Silicone hoses make a huge difference. And then a tune. Obviously, the tune to support your modifications. Those things are what's going to give you more power. But remember, dollar for dollar, you're not going to make a lot of power. I mean, an intake, an exhaust, downpipe, silicone hoses, and a front mount intercooler, you're probably going to spend about $1,800 and $2,000 by the time you're done on some good stuff and some cheap stuff. And then your tune, that's going to give you, your maximum power. By the time you're done, like I said, you're about $2,000, almost, $2,000. Where for Wayne, the KO3S is the upgrade from the KO3. The upgrade from the KO3S is the KO4, like in the picture I have over here. The KO4 is what's on there. A Franken turbo is a gutted, bored out KO4 F21. And then there's another big boy turbo. You want a big boy turbo without breaking the bank, you do the KO4 023, exactly like you not on there, but that's off of the Audi TT or the Audi S3 in Europe. Those turbos, you can make 300 horsepower very nicely on 22 pounds of boost. Huge torque. I mean, that thing makes a ton of torque, but you need a lot of different parts to make it work. I did that turbo setup. By the time I was done, I was almost $3,000 in, so that turbo, by the time you're done, you're literally at the cost of a big turbo. Why not just go to a big turbo? I kind of learned my lesson the third time around, actually, because I sold that turbo kit and ended up going to an F23 turbo kit, which is the big boy version of the KO4 023, which is a bored out version again of the KO4 023, which makes even more power. I made up to 320 horsepower on that. I had to upgrade the rods on it because that's rod bending territory. So I ended up, breaking the engine, not breaking it, but building that motor as well. But by the time you're doing all that, I mean, in all honesty, you're literally at big turbo pricing. Don't waste your money on KO4s. Just don't. If you can get one for like $200, $400 with everything, or even $1,000 with everything you need to bolt it on, then do it. By all means, do it. But in all honesty, it is not worth the money. Just not worth it, unless you don't want to build your engine. If you're that person that's adamant, I don't want to spend the money to build the motor and not put rods in it and all that stuff, then just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just get a little KO4, enjoy the extra little power, and leave it alone. When you get into the big boy turbos, you get into big power, you get into other things that break. So you gotta really, 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 pick your poison. I went to a big turbo because a big turbo is way more reliable in the sense of how you build power. Any car is good for a KO4, any 1.8T. It's not about the all about that. It's really about how you build power. If you go to a KO4 023, your engine will not take it. I'll show you. It's a whole different monster. It looks completely different too. I'll give you guys a picture of that. I'll give you a picture of the F23. That's probably the best option I can show you. Here we go. No. The turbo is just completely different. It mounts differently. Everything's different about that F23 turbo. It's just a lot of people don't understand. It's like I said, a bigger turbo, but you get a lot of weird issues with them if you don't know how to tune them. They just cause a lot of problems. You gotta know how to tune them. The turbos in the picture is the KO4 and the KO3. Those are the two differences on there. The turbo on the left is the KO3. The turbo on the right is the KO4. Those are true bolt-on turbo difference, bolt-on turbos, where you don't need to change your exhaust and all that. It's just bolted on. You can use the factory lines and everything. That one that's in the picture is just a KO3 on the left, and then the one on the right is the KO4. And that's a KO4 015, I believe, which is the one that actually bolt on to Mark IVs. There's a different one, and I'm trying to find you a good picture of a KO, an actual KO4 from an Audi TT 225. Okay, here we go. There we go. It mounts completely different. Found a couple pictures, so I'm going to give you guys a couple pictures so you guys can see this and kind of understand what we're doing. So I'm changing this picture that's on here, okay? So what you see in this picture, I'm going to enlarge this so you guys can understand what I'm talking about. So in this picture, you see right here, you'll notice there's a pipe that's bolted onto it. It has 3 bolts on there. That's called an up pipe. That is an adapter to make it fit to your stock Mark IV exhaust. Okay, you'll notice that it doesn't have the downpipe like curved down like a KO3 or a KO4. So, and you'll see right next to it on the very top, the charge pipe is actually also very different. For 929 Dan, no, that is not the only difference. Whoever tells you that, they don't know what they're talking about. There's a big difference between those two turbos. We just explained that. The KO3S on top of the silencer is actually bigger. The actual turbine's larger, and it spools faster, and it makes more boost. That's pretty much it, if you want to break it down as simple as possible. The turbo that you see right here in this picture is pretty much, how can I explain this? Best example, best way to explain this turbo. You know a GT28? I'll give you a picture of a GT28. Yeah, you're welcome, Wayne. I got no problem explaining these things.
Okay, there's a turbo called the GT28. This turbo is pretty much the introduction to big turbos on a Mark IV. They come in many different flavors. Due to the fact, depending on the car it's going to go on. But there's different versions of this turbo. This turbo, I'm going to compare them, I'm going to put them side by side for you guys. On top of this turbo, you have to use different oil lines and coolant lines for this to work on your Mark IV. If you ever buy this turbo that's on here, the F23, aka the KO4 023 or 0XX, there's so many different terms for this turbo. You have to get all the lines from an Audi TT 225. Look it up. Super common engine, super common car. You can buy all the parts online, super cheap. When I did mine, I got everything from eBay, so you can get it done. All used parts, but just saying, use OEM parts. But I used OEM parts. Now I'm going to add another turbo to this picture so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, this that's in the picture is a GT28. Okay, now well, Paul Tyler, that's actually not a big turbo. It looks big, but it's not a big turbo. The KO4, the F23, let me correct myself. The F23 flows almost as good or as good as a GT28, like you see here in the picture. That turbo is really good. The GT28 is where you start to make real big power. That turbo is meant to make up to 300 to almost 400 horsepower, depending on the version that you purchase of that turbo. Now, some people 90% of the time usually make about 300 to 350 horsepower with that turbo, and that's kind of maxing it out. Reason why a lot of people love this turbo, because of its response. If you want to do that, you want to go to a big boy, much bigger, because you don't want to push a turbo to its max. You want to make it efficient. You want to go. Yeah, no, for the KO3S, like I said, you cannot delete the silencer. It's attached to the turbo. It's permanent. If you can slide some of it out, but you're not gonna be able to take it out. You know, it's part of the actual turbo itself. The turbo that I use, and I'll show you that one in just a moment. I have a big turbo. That's very different from what a GT28 is. My turbo can actually make up to almost 500 horsepower if I really wanted to push it, but I did not want to do that. I wanted to make my turbo reliable, something I can daily, and just have fun with. I mean, I love it. I'm not here to race anybody. I'm just here to have fun with my car. So let me see if I can find the right turbo. I think this is it. I think I found it. What you can do is in the links right here, just post a link, and then you can show me what you're talking about. I'll click on the link and then see what you're talking about in the comments. Just copy and paste the link, and then you can show me. Here's this turbo. This is what I'm running on my car, so you guys can see this. Image number 3. I'm going to shrink this one down now. I'll put this over here. We're going to talk turbos today. I'm having fun talking about turbos. I like talking about them. Okay, I'm going to show you guys, like I said, this is another picture of KO3s and KO4s. These are much smaller. So you guys can see all this together. I would love to build you guys cars, man. I would love to. Have fun. I love doing this. So I would never charge anybody. You know, unless you guys want to pay me. That's a different story if you guys want to pay me. Okay. So, you guys can see this here. That's a big turbo. See that? I'm going to post a picture of my engine with that turbo on it, so you guys can understand the actual size comparison between the turbos, because there's like I said, there's a big difference. You know, these turbos over here, the one I'm showing you, the one I just posted, which is the one I have on my car, that turbo is a T3 style turbo, so they're slow at spooling. You know, slow spooling, but they make a lot more power on top end. You know, so that means your reliability, number one, is prioritized. You don't have these crazy boost spikes. You don't have crazy torque spikes, and you don't break anything. Your transmission won't blow up. Your axles won't bind or bend or twist. None of that stuff will happen because it's more gradual. A lot of these guys who build super high horsepower engines build boosts too fast and break shit. That's as simple as that. I mean, I can't explain anything else. Let me see if I can find a picture of mine on my car. Let's see. After this, I'm gonna have to head out. I'm gonna go to bed. Adjusting the wastegate does nothing. You're just either holding the pressure longer, and it's not gonna give you anything. There's a lot of stuff that you guys are reading online. I know that. So I get that question asked a lot, and it's just you can hold the wastegate to stay down longer, but it's not gonna give you any extra power. It's not gonna do much for you. The best setting is what the factory setting is, which is 10 psi. Your N75 valve does the rest for you. That's what that is. The solenoid, the boost solenoid controller, which is the N75. That's a valve that gets controlled that tells how much boost to push into your engine. The wastegate doesn't make more power, just so you know. For Paul, I have Trent Smith, his tune. He's the guy who tuned my car. So if that's your question, that's the person that tuned it. The guy from Boost Dynamic Tuning. Geez, I can't find a good picture of my my engine here. I know I have a picture. Just give me a minute, guys. Yes, you can remote tune a Volkswagen. That's pretty common. A lot of people do that. That's weird. There we go. So the turbo that you see, the big turbo that's in the picture, is what I'm using. And this is what it looks like on the actual car, or the actual engine. Once I find the... Okay. There we go. That's what it looks like on there. And if you look at the GT28, on the upper right hand corner, that's a GT28. It's a big turbo, but it's, like I said, it's a starting point. That's where you start on your big turbo market. Now, all you guys asking about, you know, big turbo, KO4, KO3, or GT28, this is usually what I tell people. It goes from... if you're going to compare KO3 to KO3S, 5%, 10% difference in performance. Nothing drastic. It's going to kind of give you a placebo effect when you just swap the turbos out. You're going to think it's going to make a lot more power. Not really until you tune them. KO3 to KO4. Okay, what you see in the picture up top, KO3, KO4. Now you're actually making some actual good power. KO4 is good up to 240 to 260 horsepower. Without doing any other type of fueling, like going to E85 or going into water meth injection. That's usually about pushing it with just pump fuel. The GT28 above you, now you're making 300 to 350 horsepower, and that's depending on the flavor of the GT28. It comes in many different versions and very different type of applications. So your power band is very different and very drastic. And now what you see down below is El Turbo Grande. These guys, yeah, I know. Now this turbo is slow. It's not a fast turbo. Does not make your car fast off the bat. Like I said before, it makes your car fast top end, like, and the 4,000 RPM range. That's when it starts actually kicking in and making some real power. Those turbos are awesome, super reliable. You have less problems down the road. Things don't break. Your torque curves are, like I said, very gradual, very fun to have, and it's a fun car. To me, it's like a surprise. Every time I floor it, it's like, it's like, whoa, this is awesome. Just awesome. It's just like a surprise every single time, and it's very exciting. So, I mean, those are kind of the things you're going to be looking at. Depending on the different versions of the T3 or T4 hybrid turbos, you're going to need a... Yeah, pretty much, Wayne. No, I don't really care for that. I like it the way it is. On low RPMs, it's like driving a stock Mark IV with the stock turbo. It's awesome. And I get amazing gas mileage. On a full tank of gas, I've almost got like 340 miles of the full tank of gas, which is not bad at all. With a big turbo and using big CC injectors and all the stuff I've done to it, it's not bad at all. So I'm not going to complain about it spooling. It's, like I said, it's fun. It's fun for me. I love it. It's entertaining, and it's wild to drive. It's just so much fun. 929. 929. It's not, because I don't care. You know, I built that car. That's exactly what I wanted when I built this car.
I knew exactly what I was doing. I knew exactly how the car was going to perform. I knew exactly what I was going to get out of it. That's why it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all. We actually, on the Mark II, we're doing the exact same build, except for we're going to use a smaller version of this turbo. So I don't care. It's not going to bother me. It's going to be on the Mark II setup. Is like it's going to be even lighter. It's going to be super fast on a 2,000-pound car. It's going to be amazing. Again, remember, this is just for driving and having fun. What's up, babe?
I make my nose tingle.
What is that? Oh, man. Whew. Oh, man, that's gonna be good for tomorrow. So, I mean, everybody has their cup of tea and what they want. To me, boost lag is just whatever. That is the pest. That's my wife. That's right. To me, it's once the turbo starts spooling, my face just starts drooling. Because it's so much fun. Okay, so for Paul Tyler, how do you swap to E85? You only need two things. You need a very, very high pressure fuel pump, and then you need very, very high injector, like flowing injectors. That's pretty much it. You know, my wife, I'm actually gonna, she doesn't like being filmed. She doesn't like it. Actually, for almost 4 years, I wasn't being filmed at all. You know, you'll notice all my early videos, you only saw my hands. Never once you actually saw my face. So, it's just, I finally just bit the bullet and I started filming myself, yeah. Yep. It's so much fun, man. I don't, like I said, I'm not here to make power on the low end. I'm here to make power on the high end. I don't care. You know, it's just a lot of fun. But it's time for me to go to bed. I am tired. I got to be up at 5 in the morning. I definitely love talking to you guys. Hopefully you guys learned something with this tonight. I loved it. I definitely loved, I love talking car. I love talking car parts. I love talking other, you know, other subjects too. I mean, I'm open to almost anything. But every time I come and work in my garage is what I do. Yeah, I agree. I love doing burnouts. We're going to be filming a burnout soon. We just got to find a place to go do it safely so no one gets hurt or anything like that, and the cops don't bother me. We're going to do a cool burnout with Filbert soon, so stay tuned for that too. We're going to do some of that later. But yeah, like I said, if you guys ever, like I said, want to talk car, I'm always open. Believe me, Wayne, I'd love to come down. I'd love, man. But if for any reason down the road my channel does, you know, picks up the slack and I actually make some decent money by you know, subscribers and you guys showing and sharing what I do, I might actually take a tour and go hang out with people and go build cars along the way. I mean, what else could be awesome? Just go hang out with people and work on cars. But unfortunately, you know, I'm not blessed with a lot of money. You know, I'm just blessed to be able to help people and have passion to help people. If I had more money, believe me, I'd do it. You know, one day. One day I would love to come down and meet all my subscribers and fans and all that. Maybe we can. You're welcome, Edwin. I'm always answering, replying. You know, don't send me money, dude. Hold on. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to ever help out on the channel, just, you know, buy stuff. Oh no. My wife made cookies. Mmm. Very good. But yeah, you know, I'm always happy to help out as much as I can and to help you guys as much as I can. You don't understand, like, Wayne's fine, leave him alone. You know, I'm just happy that I can help you guys out. You don't understand. If it weren't for social media, I wouldn't be able to help you guys out, you know? As much as I am able to now. Sorry, these cookies. Oh, cookies are delicious. Sorry. Gotcha. Cool. Awesome that the brothers, you guys are helping each other out. That's awesome, man. But again, thank you for watching. I'm gonna log off now and enjoy these cookies because they're pretty dang delicious. For Paul, you have to be tuned for E85, number one. You have to have the supporting mods to run E85. You can't just run E85, you know? All right. Luis, welcome. I'll stay on a couple more minutes if more people want to talk. I'm definitely here to talk. If you guys want to talk a little bit more. Yeah, Trent can tell you what you need for E85, Paul. Just so you know. Once I finish these cookies, no more. I gotta go to bed. Luis, what's going on, Luis? Luis G. What up, G? Nah, bro. Thanks, Wayne. On my car, I'm running a full 3-inch custom exhaust. At the end of the exhaust, I'm using a MagnaFlow muffler. Now, what model muffler I'm using, God knows. My exhaust shop is the people that did the custom work for me, so I can't really even say. However, I can say, though, the downpipe on my exhaust is full-on stainless steel. I hate straight pipe 929. It's awful. Makes so much noise. And it just gives me a headache. I drive 300 to almost 400 miles a week. So, if I had a straight pipe car, I'd go nuts after like 2 days on the freeway. No. No, 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 no. Sorry, man. Don't like straight pipe. Nice. My my exhaust was almost $1,400. Just so you guys know.
If you see in the picture, my engine and the turbo, the downpipe, the where the 4 bolts goes down. For that turbo, only that downpipe was only like 3, maybe 4 feet long after it was made. That alone was almost $700 to make out of stainless steel. And then from there, turbo back, I went to what they call galvanized steel to a muffler, and then that was the rest of my my thing. Have you guys seen my engine bay? I'll show you guys some pictures of the engine bay. See if I can. What did I do? Ah, Scheißenwolfens, hold on. Find you guys a picture of my bay. And remember that I did this all with just stuff that I could buy from at home. And I'm going to show you some before and after pictures, okay? None of this stuff was like, how can I say, like custom made, like, oh, like super special. No, everything was done at home. I do everything. I said I do all my own stunts, so you know. I always tell people that, you know, if you want a not super clean bay, you need to be very patient. That's it. You know, and willing to do a lot of elbow grease. That's for damn sure. You know, you got to be able to do a lot of work in there. But it's not very difficult work. That's the cool thing about it. Please don't say they have actual PVC pipe, because I'll be super sad. Alright, so here's a picture of the bay. Before I did anything to it. Pretty much, I covered the wire harness with the plastic bag and tape. Anything electrical was covered in tape in a plastic bag, and pretty much hosed it down with degreaser. I want larger. Hold on. That better? I'll shrink it down in a bit, but yeah, everything you see in there was sprayed down with degreaser. You'll notice inside the picture, you notice in the picture, like I said, everything was covered in plastic bags that was electrical, that I knew that can get damaged. So you grab everything, you scrub with the with the plastic brush, anything that oil touches, and scrub the crap out of it. You know, let the degreaser sit for a couple minutes, and then just hose it down, and you're done pretty much. And that's what the bay looked like when I was done with it. It looked pretty much brand new. So once you do that, all that said and done, Let me get you a new image here. I'm going to show you guys the before and after when it had an engine in it. That's pretty much 2 days worth of work to make it look like that. Like cleaning and painting. That was it. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah. It is, the picture in the background is my car with the trailer. Oh yeah, I deleted everything. Everything that's deletable, pretty much I just took it out. I didn't even attach it back to the car. Obviously, you can see that. I have DIYs for all that stuff, so it's all on my channel. That's correct, Wayne. Filbert and Heifer. So, that's the pretty much the end result of taking your time. You know, and making sure everything works the way it's supposed to. Let's see here. If I got another picture somewhere. I'm almost going to bed because I'm tired. There you go. There's a bigger picture of the engine bay, a cleaner shot. So you guys can see that. This is a big picture of that, of the bay. The radiator I'm running is the factory one. I just upgraded to the new version of the factory. I actually got it from the dealer. I bought that the OEM factory radiator. So, yeah. The intercooler piping is all custom made. Same people that did my downpipe and everything, they did my intercooler and piping. I'll give you guys a picture of what that looks like when I finish this. Let me shrink this down. So you guys can see that. Let's see if I can find a picture of the intercooler and stuff. Here's another picture of the car and trailer. I know you guys wanted to see more of that. I'll give you a picture of that in just a moment. I'll give you guys a picture of the inside of the trailer if I can find it. I know I posted it somewhere. Here's a picture of the intercooler piping. Let's see. I'm finding all the stuff here so I can show you guys in just a moment. Where the heck is the trailer? I know I posted it somewhere. Wayne, yes, I do live in Cali. Oh my God. I now have a picture of my trailer. Give me a second here. Ah, there it is. Yes, Luis, San Diego, or San Diego County I live in. Okay. So this is going to be changed. So here's another picture of the Mark IV in the trailer. Move this out of the way. For Loki, I'm sorry, I don't know much about automatic transmissions, man. I suck on automatic transmissions. I'm not the best on that. I wish I could give you better advice. Okay, so that's the outside of the trailer. For Dan, yes, I did build the trailer myself. Had a couple friends help me out with that. So there's that. So I'm gonna move this out of the way. Last picture, because I gotta go to bed now. This is the inside of the trailer. Yes, hopefully you guys can see all that. The trailer, you can just register like a normal trailer as long as it has functional brake lights, turn signals, and nighttime lights. 100% legal to turn into a trailer. You just gotta make sure the VIN number of that car has been destroyed or set as a junk VIN number, because the DMV will provide you with the new VIN number for that. For Dan, no, it's actually just, look how much space there is inside, just so you can see that. It's got a ton of space. It's a storage. It's a trailer. I travel with it. Me and my wife went camping for an entire week in it. We don't just use it for that. It's literally a functional space, like for storage and whatnot. We went camping to Yosemite and Santa Cruz in California for almost 4 days. Pretty much living out of that. I mean, we had a tent and everything, but everything was in that. It's solar powered, so I always have power in it and everything. It's pretty cool. You know, I get a lot of people who's like, oh, why would you do that? It's not an actual camper. It's just a travel trailer. You know, you store things in it. But yeah, my wife did all the upholstery in that. She wrapped the headliner. She wrapped all the trunks. My buddy Hank did all the wood stuff. So, you know, we just use it for traveling. It's not a showpiece for sure. It's more, like I said, it's more for just storing stuff and to use it. It's functional. I met another guy that built something very similar, and it has nothing in it. It's just an empty box and it's a trailer. He made it as a showpiece. I'm like, that's cool, but that's not what I'm using it for. All right, guys. Like Dan was saying, Paul Tyler and everybody else, I ain't gonna go to bed too. I am tired. I've had a long day. But thanks again for talking to me. And yeah, no, you're welcome for all the good info, man. I'm always excited to talk to people. Very, very excited. So, as always, a shaft play, you should never have shaft play. Never. You should be able to turn it and, like, literally, a thousandth of, like, play, like, no play at all. You should be able to spin it, and it should not be able to move around at all. Because if it plays around, it's going to scrape the inside and outside of the turbo housing, and that's the end of it. It's just going to blow up. So if it moves around, it's done, period. In and out should be literally like a thousandth of an inch. Like I said, very, very, very minimal. For Loki, for a new transmission, yeah, that sounds about right. Your transmission is probably $1,000 to almost $1,600 just for that. Personally, go find another car similar and do a donor car. Swap shit over with a manual transmission, call it a day. If you can't do it yourself, fix the transmission, man. I wish I can give you better advice, but I'm not. Unfortunately, yeah, a shift solenoid will dump your car into limp mode. All right, guys. Sorry, I gotta cut it short. I've already been on here for an hour and 15 minutes. I gotta go to bed. I'm very tired now. But thanks again, everybody, for tuning in and talking with me. I'm always grateful to talk to people. So, again, have a good night. Peace out. And as always, break, fix, and repeat.